Why is it so hard to start a script or a book, let alone finish one, when we're full of ideas? And is there a way to make it easier? My name's Aram, I'm a writer-director. I knew I was a writer, I just needed the tools to get me started, and I've no doubt it's the same with you. One of the harder parts to writing a story is staying focused. How do we do that, particularly in an age where we get notifications, we get emails, we get WhatsApp calls, and there's social media, there's so much going on, there's just so much noise. How do we actually stop it? I'm afraid there's no shortcut to focus. It's all about just being disciplined, but making it easier for yourself by adding barriers between you and the distractions that you face, and reducing barriers between you and the work. Just behind me, you'll see a typewriter. I actually bought that to try and move my eyes away from a screen and have a bit more of a tactile experience. End result is it's really loud, so I never use it, particularly when you're in a block of flats. It's a little bit unsociable. But it did kind of inspire me to keep going with that mindset of move myself away from a screen. Now it's hard to do that when you're actually writing, but when you're just coming up with the idea, when you're just thinking about the story, creating the beat sheet, that is something we can do so easily without a computer. My go-to technique is to use something called magic sheets. You just stick them on the wall and then you write onto them. You can rub them off, you can reuse them, and they're great because you can get up nice and close and stay in the detail, and then you can stand back and see the bigger picture. Whack on a playlist that doesn't have lyrics and you'll be good to go. What I like to do is to create a playlist from different movie soundtracks that gives across the kind of energy that I'm thinking of for the story. For instance, my recent pilot is set in the 1960s jazz world, so I pulled together a playlist of 1960s jazz. It's not rocket science. The key to staying focused is to focus on one thing only. There's an amazing book by Gary Keller called The One Thing, and it's all about the myth of multitasking, about how interruptions, they take us time to reorientate ourselves, and the best way to achieve anything is to do one thing through to completion first and then move on to the next. When I was entering the Film Market Hub screenplay contest with my script, I had a deadline that I had to hit, and so I made it that I couldn't work on anything else, I could only work on that. You have to be honest as well about your own failings. I find it really hard to stay off Instagram, so I delete the app from my phone and I go and work in a cafe somewhere that doesn't have internet. Now, something that you can do when you are just, again, coming up with a concept is go and focus on a single activity that is so mundane, you can have your brain ticking over in the background. It's why I like to go for a run. I will go for a run, put on the headphones, and for that half hour, 1 hour run, however long I've gone, all I'm thinking about is the script. I'm thinking about that idea, because running takes no thought. You're just putting one foot in front of the other. It's a similar story with driving. Now, yes, I do concentrate when I drive, but again, it's that time where you can't look at a screen. It's that time where you are just focusing on one thing. And as a result, your brain does tend to think about the project you have in the background. A little top tip for you, in case you are wondering how to recognize if your idea is even any good, is it is those ideas that stay with you. I've had plenty of ideas that I've just forgotten about, which means they can't have been very good. It's the ideas that stay with you that you can't switch off. They're the ideas to follow up.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.